right, it has been a long time coming with getting these cases up in here to review for you guys, man. We finally made it happen. Shout out to Moment for dropping me their cases to review. And I have to say that these are some of my new favorite cases for the iPhone 12 series. Now, I know you're probably like, you say that every time you get some new cases, and that's true because I can't help it that I'm getting some fire cases this late in the life cycle of the iPhone 12 series. And I have to say, since they dropped me these cases, I have been rocking the Indigo Blue thin case on my 12 Pro Max, and I am absolutely loving it, man. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me tell you why these are some of my new favorite cases. So when you're looking at the cases in front of us, these three right here are going to be called the thin fit, and these two kind of have their own name. This is going to be called the Walnut, and this is the black canvas. Now basically it's kind of the same characteristics of these cases, except this one has a walnut finish on the back and this one has a canvas type material. We'll kind of get into those when I do the test fit of all of these, but all of these cases do share the same characteristics. We're talking about 6 feet of drop protection, made of polycarbonate and TPU. They all come packaged in 100% recyclable packaging material. They all are MagSafe compatible, because that's actually, you got to have MagSafe compatibility at this point. And with that, they all have their Moment mounts compatibility, which means Moment has a bunch of mounts, man. They have, like I said, they have car mounts, they have wall mounts, tripod mounts. Every one of these cases are going to be compatible with those as well. So let's just go ahead and grab one and let's just start. We're going to go with the mustard yellow. So then before we do that, I forgot to give you the names of these. This is going to be the mustard yellow, olive green, and this is going to be the indigo blue. I really like the colorway, the muted colors that they chose for this lineup. All right, so here it is, mustard yellow thin case. And before we get started, I want to make a note of every thin case that you get in the packaging, you will get one of these little adapters. Now what this does is this basically pops out. You could pop out this little black ring that I'm not really going to do because I'm not really going to try any of the accessories right now, but you can pop this little black ring out right here. You can pop that out and then you can pop this adapter in, and that's basically going to allow your phone to be compatible with all the different lens and accessories that Moment has to offer. They have an anamorphic gold flare lens that they also sent to me. Once again, that'll be for a separate video, but every case that you get will be packaged with one of these little mounts to where you can use those accessories and those different lenses and anything with your Moment case. So that's a nice little thing that you don't have to go out there and spend extra on. So let's go ahead and bring the case up close and let me go ahead and run through it and tell you why this is potentially one of my new favorite cases. So when we're talking about the flexibility of it, like I said, these are made of polycarbonate and TPU material. So it's not really going to be anything that's super flimsy, although that you can wiggle it a little bit. It is very stiff and keeps and remains the actual shape of the case. So looking at the sides, you have volume up, volume down. You have a cutout for your mute toggle switch, which is fairly small, but it's a little bit, they have a little indentation and recession down in there so you can kind of flick it and not dig too much to get to it. So that's a nice little touch there. Smooth on the top side, nothing to really see. Flipping it over on the back, you get very subtle branding, and we're talking about where it faintly says Moment. It's kind of hard to see on this mustard yellow, but you can see it a little bit better on the darker colors. And also here you get kind of that type of material. I gotta say that type of material because that's like a noise, but you get some ridges and some lines here, and that's going to be standard across all of the thin cases that they have sent me here. And on the right side, we have that power button there. Flipping over on the bottom, we do have your equal cutouts for your speaker hole, and you have the cutout for your lightning. And on the outside, we do have a cutout for the wrist straps that Moment has to offer, and we will get into those when it comes to looking at the olive green one. And just, they make plenty of wrist straps for all different colors. So that is basically it. Flipping it over on the inside, as you can see, you have a nice felt-like material, which is going to always protect the rear of your iPhone. You know, I'm a big component of keeping your phone fresh and clean when it's in the case. And that's basically it. You get a little bit of thin case branding down here, and you get that right there. You got the little Moment M, and that is going to be where your MagSafe compatibility is. So let's go ahead and bring my 12 Pro Max and let's pop it in here, and boom, here we go. Such a clean, subtle, just fresh package when it comes to your case. So let's go ahead and take a look around it. Let's go ahead and first try out those buttons and let's see how they feel. Buttons are right on the money. So clean, no issues with pressing those. Getting to that mute toggle switch, like I said, it's a small actually cutout, but it is indented so you can get right to the switch without having to struggle for it. Going over to that power button, nice and tactile as well, no issues there. Flipping it down below, you can see all of your cutouts and everything is spot on there, no issues. Take a look at that lay on the table protection. Now, once again, I'd say that these are rated up to 6 feet of drop protection, and I do have a tempered glass screen protector up here, but even with that, there is a lip that goes all the way around it. So if you were to drop it down on his face, like I said, you are rated up to 6 feet of drop protection. I think you should be good in the event that you do drop it. Now, no, these aren't any heavy duty style cases, but I do feel like they are durable enough to withstand a small drop if one was to occur. So that's pretty good when it comes to that. So next up, let me go ahead and see, which is my main topic when it comes to a case. If this doesn't fit right, it can't be in my top cases, man. The fit, you guys know. Let's go ahead and do the snug and pull test. So go and start off at the sides. Very snug, although I can pull it. Very snug, thick material when it comes to the edges. No flimsiness going on. Very snug going all the way around it. Let's go to the top and the bottom. Really can't get anything grabbed down there. Super snug on the bottom. Same with the top. Very, very snug material. And even it has like a little indentation down here that kind of helps with the swiping up gestures and different things like that. It's the subtle things that you have to see when you're looking at a case that a manufacturer can put into it that really goes overlooked by most. But when you know certain things and certain things to look for when it comes to cases, you can point some of these things out. And that is one thing that I do enjoy, that they do have it a little bit slimmer down here. They kind of tapered it off so the swiping gestures can be just a little bit more easy. So with that being said, the fit of this case is A1, A+, man. I love it. The fit of this case is very, very good. And it's actually better than I thought it was going to be, which is a big kudos to Moment for that one. Now, how does it feel in your hands? Now, you know, the main thing that I say when it comes to a case is give me all the grip that you got, because it can be the most beautiful case out there, man. But if it's slippery, it's slippery, and there's nothing that you can really do about it. But with this one, although it doesn't really give you a lot of grip on the sides, this material is still pretty grippy. It's weird. Like, you would think this material be a little bit slippery, but it is actually grippy and it does a pretty good job. So I'm not mad at this material at all. It keeps the phone fairly thin. It doesn't add a bunch of bulk to it. So you definitely can appreciate a case that fits amazingly well, gives you a lay on the tail protection, feels good in your hands, doesn't keep it super thick, and the branding is very minimal with some awesome colors. They knocked it out of the park when it came to this case. So last thing, but certainly not least, is let's check out how strong the MagSafe is, because once again, a lot of these case companies say they're MagSafe compatible, and then the MagSafe can't hold a single thing, but I think I'll be pretty much good with this one. So let's go ahead and pop it on MagSafe, boom. And you see it definitely does find that MagSafe, and the connection is pretty strong. That's not a weak connection. Now, I told you, the one thing that I always like to test out when it comes to these cases is this is a stainless steel block when it comes to this MagSafe. Rip to the headphone users, my bad. But this is a solid piece of block with this Nomad block right here. This is solid. So let's grab this and let's lift it up. This is how I can always give you a good strength test. And it fell off right there, but that's a good strength test to show you how strong the magnets is when it comes to this. And that is some pretty strong magnets when it comes to the thin case from Moment. So this is going to be the mustard yellow. Just like I said, let's go ahead and run through the other colors, slap them on, and let's see how they look on your 12 Pro Max. Here is the Indigo Blue. Now, this is what I've been personally running on my 12 Pro Max. I just really like this shade of blue. Of course, this is probably going to look really dope if you do have the Pacific blue color, but I don't think it doesn't matter what iPhone you have. You can't go wrong with this Indigo Blue color. And like I said, you can kind of see the Moment a little bit better when it comes to the darker shades. But yep, here is the Indigo Blue, my personal favorite color case when it comes to the thin case series. Next up, this is a very, very dope olive green when it comes to the thin case. And of course, as you can see here, this is included with the Moment strap. Now, they did give me a few different straps. You can get them in like this tan color. You can get in a black, kind of the same Indigo Blue color right there. You can get in a gray, and a red, and this one right here is going to be your olive green. So you have color options to be able to match with whatever color moment case that you have. And wrist straps, you know what, I used to sleep on them back in the day, but when you start going on vacation and different things like that, and when you're out and about, having a wrist strap is just that much of reassurance. Because one of my nerve-wracking things when I was on vacation is if you're out in the water, you're out in the, just swimming around in the ocean or whatever it can be, and in the shallow part, you're always paranoid that your phone could potentially drop. We all know these phones have IP ratings, and yeah, they are pretty good these days, but you still don't want to drop your phone. And the wrist strap just kind of locks that in and just makes that to where if you were to drop it, it's not going to go anywhere. So they do have some nice wrist straps with that Moment branding right there. And I think these do hold up. I think they were tested up to like 150 plus pounds. So that's pretty good, man. So this is not a weak type wrist strap, and you basically just tie it on to the little wrist strap holder, whether it's to your left or to your right, and you'll be good to go. But that is going to be the olive green thin case included with one of their wrist straps. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at their walnut case. Now this is going to be a little bit different than the other ones. Not really much. It's just where you get that little, textured material on the other cases. Here you get a nice walnut wood finish right here. Still compatible with MagSafe, still works just fine. It just gives you a little switch up if you do like wood textures, wood finishes on your case. A lot of people out there like this. I do think it's a very nice touch with this walnut and your black with that black space gray iPhone 12 Pro Max. A very nice touch here. So here's going to be the walnut. And last but not least, a material that kind of gets overlooked, but which I feel is probably some of the most dope material on cases, period. And that is going to be your canvas type material. So this kind of has like a rubbery type finish. Definitely feels very good though. So if this is what you want to deal with when we're talking about a case, this canvas material does feel pretty good. It has a nice little texture to it. Just a little switch up if you want to go something a little bit different, a little bit more attention to detail than your wood or your standard thin case. So here's going to be the black canvas case. All right, so once again, here are the cases from Moment. We have the thin cases, walnut, and your black canvas case. Once again, right now, this is one of my new daily driver cases. The fit is good. You have a nice lay on tear protection. It's MagSafe compatible. They're actually pretty grippy when it comes to this case, and the snugness on this case is A1, no loose fitting or anything like that when it comes to the case. And that is how you can get into my rotation of best cases for the 12 Pro Max. So you already know, man, I will be sure to leave a link down below that will be an affiliated link. So if you do purchase one, that's a little kickback to your boy, and I greatly appreciate it. But as always, man, you already know, do all the YouTube things, hit that like button, comment down below, and definitely smash that sub button, turn that bell on so you don't miss out on some of these fire accessories that I got coming up for the new iPhone, still with the 12 series, and some new devices that's set to hit the channel. But already, technically T, man, y'all be safe. Catch you on the next one. Later.